Don't count on this rainy year in the Texas Panhandle to bring Lake Meredith back as the substantial water source it was decades ago. We'll explain why as we discuss 5 things you need to know about the lake and the Canadian River Municipal Water Authority. Number 1, Lake Meredith near Fritch is a flooded canyon created with the construction of Sanford Dam. Its purpose was twofold: to control flooding of the Canadian River and to collect the water for cities that joined to pay for the project. The Canadian River Municipal Water Authority operates the dam and water system that resulted. You'll generally hear the authority called by its acronym, CRMWA. Number 2, CRMWA sends water to Amarillo, Lubbock, and 9 other member cities in the Texas Panhandle and South Plains. Amarillo and Lubbock rely upon CRMWA and their own groundwater well fields for water. Amarillo gets 57% of its water supply from CRMWA.
For the first 35 years of CRMWA's existence, 100% of the water that we supplied came from Lake Meredith. 2001 was the beginning of a 20-plus year mega drought, and lake levels declined. Coinciding with that, water quality declined, and we began transitioning to well water, primarily out in Roberts County in 2001. And that's brought us to today where we're approximately 75% groundwater, 25% lake water.
Yes, that's right. Groundwater accounts for 3 times the amount of lake water that CRMWA sends to cities. And that groundwater comes from the Ogallala Aquifer, a declining resource for the region. Number 3, CRMWA has to blend groundwater with a smaller flow of water from Meredith because evaporation concentrates the salts and minerals in the lake.
We get up to 8 feet of evaporation a year in Lake Meredith, and the evaporation takes all the good stuff, the water, and leaves the minerals. And again, chlorides or salt is what we're most concerned about. So over time, that just continues to accumulate. Last year, for instance, we evaporated more than 3 times the amount of water that we pumped out of the lake. And so, it kind of puts into perspective how big of a user evaporation is on the lake versus, pumping out. But we do want to pump out, one, because it is a renewable resource. That's the reason it was built. But also because every gallon we pump out, that's not a gallon, but that concentration of salt, we are physically removing that from the lake, which will ultimately prolong our ability to utilize Lake Meredith without some type of advanced treatment like reverse osmosis.
Number 4, today, Lake Meredith is primarily a rain-fed lake, even though it's on the Canadian River. The flow of the river itself is drastically less than it once was, but there are other issues.
There's warmer temperatures, there's upstream reservoirs, but groundwater production is part of it because there used to be springs along the canyon that would go in and feed the lake, and those springs no longer flow because of the groundwater pumping.
Number 5, the Canadian River has a watershed of more than 6,000 square miles, mostly in Texas and New Mexico. A watershed is a land area that channels rainfall and snowmelt to creeks, streams, and rivers, and eventually to even lower points on the landscape, like lakes. But the farther away from Meredith that rain falls in the watershed, the less likely it is to make it to the lake.
And obviously, if you get too far north, that's still the watershed, but it has a lot of opportunity to lose some of the runoff while it makes its way to the rivers.
Next time, we'll get into ideas for extending CRMWA's ability to deliver water. And here's a hint, none are cheap. So hit subscribe below to catch the episodes, since we're all in this water situation together.
At Panhandle PPS, our reliable news reporting and fact-based storytelling has always been free. We're proud to offer our work for free thanks to generous support of viewers like you. If you appreciate our journalism and would like to see it continue, please consider making a donation to Panhandle PBS today.